AI news this week is getting serious. OpenAI is moving into cybersecurity with Daybreak. Google may have a new AI video model called Gemini Omni. Claude agents are turning into remote workers. And somehow, data centers in space are now a real conversation. So today, I'm breaking down what matters, what's worth watching, and what you can safely ignore before the internet panics again. First, OpenAI has a new cybersecurity push called Daybreak. OpenAI wants its models and codecs to become part of defensive security workflows, not just coding workflows. The timing is important. After Claude Mythos and Project Glasswing became part of the recent AI security conversation, cybersecurity started looking like one of the next major battlegrounds for frontier AI labs. This is not only about who can write code faster. If AI agents can generate code at scale, they also need systems that can inspect, harden, and verify that code before it reaches production. For developers, founders, and small teams, the practical lesson is simple. If you use AI to build software, you should also use AI to review risk. But that review should stay defensive, controlled, and backed by human approval. AI that writes fast is useful. AI that writes fast and breaks things quietly is just an unpaid incident report waiting to happen. This belongs in the watch next category. It may not be something every viewer can use directly today, but it shows where frontier AI is heading. That cybersecurity story is serious, but Google's side of the week is moving in a very different direction. While OpenAI is talking about security workflows, Google appears to be preparing something that could matter a lot for creators. Next up is Gemini Omni. This is the Google story that started spreading quickly because it sits right at the intersection of AI video, Gemini, and Google I/O timing. According to 3T, a model called Gemini Omni appeared inside the Gemini app for some users. The interesting part is not just that Google may have another video model. The bigger question is whether video creation is moving directly into Gemini as a conversational workflow. In that version of the future, a creator does not just prompt a clip once and hope the result looks usable. You could describe a scene, adjust motion, change the visual style, and keep editing through chat. There is one important caveat. Google has not officially announced Gemini Omni yet, so this should stay in the watch next category. It is worth tracking, but not worth treating like a finished product until Google confirms it. The more practical Google update is already easier to understand because it does not start with a leak. It starts with a device most people use every day. Google is bringing more Gemini Intelligence into Android. This matters because normal users do not live inside model dashboards. They live inside phones, keyboards, browsers, forms, calendars, notifications, and messages. Google's new Android direction points toward AI that can help across those surfaces. It can assist with tasks across apps, improve dictation, help with forms, support browsing, and even let users create custom widgets with a more casual vibe coding style. For everyday use, this is more important than it sounds. A creator preparing a video shoot could speak a messy voice note into their phone and turn it into a shoot checklist, reminders, and a message for the editor. That is where mobile AI becomes useful. It reduces the tiny copy-paste chores that make a normal workday feel like a punishment designed by tabs. This one belongs in the Use Now category. It is practical, easy to understand, and close to everyday behavior. If AI can help inside the phone, normal users will feel the upgrade faster than they would from another benchmark chart. Google is moving AI closer to the phone. OpenAI is moving it closer to enterprise operations. That brings us to the OpenAI Deployment Company. OpenAI has launched the OpenAI Deployment Company, and this is a strong signal that the company is thinking beyond models and APIs. The enterprise problem has never been only model intelligence. Most companies can run an AI demo. The harder part is turning that demo into a workflow people actually use after the excitement wears off. OpenAI says this new company will bring around 150 experienced AI engineers and deployment specialists to work directly with organizations. This belongs in the Watch Next category. It may not change your personal ChatGPT workflow today, but it shows OpenAI moving from model access into business deployment. That is where AI starts becoming part of real operations, not just a clever answer box. The next story is about Claude and Mistral agents, but thankfully not the vague kind where someone says autonomous AI and then shows a loading screen. Claude Agent View gives users a better way to manage Claude code sessions. You can see which agents are running, which ones are waiting for input, and which ones have finished. Mistral is moving in the same direction with remote coding agents in Vibe. These agents can run in the cloud, continue working while you step away, and return with progress or a pull request. The important shift is that AI is becoming less like a chat response and more like a worker that can handle a scoped task. The word scoped is doing a lot of work here. Agents become useful when the assignment is clear, the output is defined, and the human review step is not treated like a decorative accessory. This belongs in the watch next category. Agents are getting closer to real background workers, but they still need clear scopes, test cases, and human review. By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to AI Fire. We cover the most important AI updates every day. Our goal is simple: help you stay ahead without spending hours sorting through the noise. So hit subscribe, follow AI Fire, and keep your AI advantage growing. The next story is about the future of AI interfaces. Thinking Machines, the company led by Mira Morati, introduced a direction called interaction models. The idea is that an AI system can process audio, video, and text at the same time, so it can react in real time before you finish speaking or typing. That sounds technical, but the user experience is easy to understand. Instead of waiting for a full prompt, the AI can follow what is happening during a live interaction. This is different from a voice assistant that simply sounds smoother. The real upgrade is timing and context. A useful assistant should know when to respond, when to ask a short question, and when to stay quiet. Many meeting participants are still working on the third one. For creators, marketers, and founders, this could eventually change how dashboard review, research, and creative feedback work. Imagine describing a sponsor campaign while the AI watches the performance dashboard and updates a brief in real time. This belongs in the Watch Next category. Most people cannot use this as a normal product yet, but it points to the next interface shift. AI that listens, watches, and reacts in real time instead of waiting politely for a perfect prompt. The courtroom story this week comes from the ongoing Musk versus OpenAI case. Sam Altman testified in the case, and one of the more striking details reported by The Guardian was that Musk had allegedly considered handing OpenAI to his children. That line is dramatic enough to travel around the internet by itself, but the larger issue is more important than the headline. The case is really about control. OpenAI began with a public benefit mission, then moved into a structure that could support massive commercial scale. Musk argues that the original mission was betrayed. OpenAI's side argues that commercialization was necessary to keep building at the frontier. So yes, the courtroom details are dramatic. Silicon Valley rarely wastes a chance to turn governance into prestige television. But underneath the drama is a serious question. Who gets to control the organizations building the most powerful AI systems? This belongs between just interesting and watch next. The next story sounds like science fiction, but it starts with a very normal problem. AI products eat a huge amount of compute. Anthropic announced a compute deal with SpaceX that helps raise Claude code and API usage limits. That matters because advanced AI tools are only useful if people can actually use them without constantly hitting limits. A smart coding agent that stops halfway through a task because the limit is gone is not a worker. It is a very expensive cliffhanger. Then the story gets stranger. Google and SpaceX are reportedly discussing the idea of data centers in orbit. To be clear, this does not mean your next chatbot response is coming from a satellite tomorrow. The practical point is that AI compute is becoming such a major bottleneck that companies are exploring more extreme infrastructure ideas around power, cooling, land, and scale. For now, this belongs in the Watch Next category. It may not change your workflow this week, but it shows where the infrastructure race is heading. AI companies are not only competing on models anymore. They are competing on compute, power, cooling, and places to put the machines. Anthropic also had one of the more important business stories this week. According to RAM's latest AI index, Anthropic overtook OpenAI in workplace AI adoption for the first time. In April, 34.4% of businesses using RAM adopted Anthropic, while OpenAI was at 32.3%. Now, this does not mean OpenAI suddenly disappeared. ChatGPT is still a massive consumer product, and OpenAI is still one of the most important companies in AI. But it does show something interesting. In the workplace, Claude is gaining serious momentum. Business Insider reported that RAM's data comes from spending activity across more than 50,000 US businesses. The careful way to read this is not Anthropic won. 1 month of adoption data is not a trophy ceremony. OpenAI may still own a lot of consumer mindshare, but Anthropic is becoming a stronger workplace competitor. This belongs in the watch next category. It does not change your workflow by itself today, but it tells you where the professional AI market is moving. So what should we take away from all of this? This week shows that AI is moving beyond model upgrades. The real race is now about where AI gets embedded. OpenAI Daybreak shows that AI labs want a bigger role in security. Gemini Omni and Gemini Intelligence show Google pushing AI into creation and daily device use. Claude Agent View, Mistral remote agents, and Anthropic's workplace adoption numbers show that businesses are starting to care less about hype and more about which tools actually help teams work. The compute stories make the same point from another angle. Better AI needs more infrastructure. That is why deals with SpaceX, higher usage limits, and even orbital data center discussions are becoming part of the AI conversation. For normal users, the best response is not to chase every headline. It is to filter. Use what can improve your workflow now. Watch the trends that may shape the next year. Ignore the stories that are mostly drama until they become practical. If you enjoy these weekly AI and tech recaps, let me know in the comments. We will keep bringing you the most important updates every week, so you can stay ahead of what's happening. Please remember to like and subscribe to AI Fire if you find this video useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next AI Fire video.